What's up, people? How are you all doing today? It's your boy, or should I say Shonen, Ray, here to bring you a new series of video content. I'm personally a big fan of history, and I find it important to stop and reflect on the past to better understand the current situation I find myself in. A perfect example of this would be the latest big news going on in the anime world, the ending of the partnership between Crunchyroll and Funimation, which takes in effect today. This big shakeup in the industry had me asking myself one question: how did we get here? So come with me on this magical mystery tour and find out how these two global companies came to be, how they came together in a match made in heaven, why they called it quits after only 2 years, and finally what we anime fans can expect from the future. So hold on to your butts, cause we're flooring it to 80 miles per hour, and we're going back to the prehistoric period known as the 90s. In 1994, Funimation's co-founder Gen Fukunaga started the company and called it Funimation Productions, with its main goal to license anime titles from Japan and bring here to the West for American television. It wasn't until 1998 the company finally found its first major success. It was a little show you might have heard of called Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z had been aired on American television before this, but it wasn't until 1998 it found traction while airing on Cartoon Network during its Toonami block. At this point, the DBZ dub was not done by Funimation itself. Rather, Funimation paid Ocean Studios, a dubbing house in Canada, to provide the English dub for American viewers. However, in 1999, Funimation decided to save money and form its own in-house dubbing team. This decision would have major impact on the company's future and would solidify Funimation with English dubs. So with the success of Dragon Ball Z and its new Funimation dub, they would go on and license other anime series and provide an English dub for them. Shows like Yu Yu Hakusho, Fruits Basket, and the original Full Metal Alchemist, just to name a few. By the mid to late 2000s, Funimation was going strong thanks to its new owner, the Navarra Corporation, and named the company Funimation Entertainment. You should be watching. Their next big move was to acquire Geneon and ADV licenses titles after they went under, such as Canon 2006, Black Lagoon, Welcome to the NHK, and Hellsing Ultimate. Around this time, Crunchyroll took its own first steps into becoming an anime streaming powerhouse as we know it today. However, its origin story might not be as predictable as you might think. Crunchyroll started in 2006, however, not as an anime licensor, but as a wannabe YouTube website where people could upload their own content, and often it included anime, though none of this was legal at the time. You see, kids, once upon a time, there was no place you could watch brand new anime shows with official English subtitles on your big screen HD TV legally with no hassle. If you wanted to see the latest episode of Naruto or Bleach and didn't speak Japanese, you would have to go to various illegal fan sub websites. These websites were run by fans that would acquire the Japanese broadcast episode of an anime and add English subtitles for fans who didn't understand Japanese and post them online. A lot of these fan sub episodes would end up on Crunchyroll, so much so that in 2008, Kun Gao, co-founder of Crunchyroll, decided to directly talk to Japanese broadcast companies so there could be a safe and legal option for anime fans to watch their favorite shows. It was not easy at first, but after some time, the Japanese companies realized making some money is better than making no money from pirating websites and decided to partner with Crunchyroll. And in 2009, Crunchyroll became an official outlet for huge anime series including Naruto Shippuden and Gintama. Crunchyroll also created an option for its members to buy a premium subscription, where a user could get updated episodes with no ads of their favorite shows at the highest quality available at the time. In the years to come, Crunchyroll would develop apps so you could watch the anime catalog wherever you go, not just on your computer, including your television set, smartphone, tablet, and pretty much anything else with an internet connection. Meanwhile, over at Funimation, Navarro wanted out of anime publishing and sold Funimation Entertainment back to its co-founder Gen Fukunaga and other investors in 2011. In the incoming years, Fukunaga and the company would concentrate on digital distribution for their shows. This would lead Funimation to many partnerships with digital media companies, including Nico Nico, Hulu, and Facebook. Eventually, Funimation would create its own apps for the anime catalog and would have the option to buy an ad-free subscription similar to Crunchyroll. So at this point in time, these two companies had similar products at similar price points to offer American anime fans. It was just a matter of preference between their two libraries, thus making them rivals in the industry. Things powered up to another level in 2013, where the Chernin Group became the major stockholder of Crunchyroll, which cost a supposed $100 million. A year later, AT&T wanted in on the digital video service market and teamed up with the Chernin Group to form Automedia, the new majority owner of Crunchyroll. But that wasn't the end of it. Automedia then created an umbrella company called Elation in 2015 to house many video services, one of which being Crunchyroll. And can you guess what video subscription Elation created in June 2016? You got it, Verve. It was designed to be your one-stop destination for anime, gaming, and geek culture. This new service would become a big deal later on. Earlier that same year, Funimation also made some modifications of their own. Funimation relaunched their streaming service and called it Funimation Now. This updated version was better designed for multiple platforms. They even made it for the Vita. The Vita, people! The Vita! Did you know? Vita means life. Anyway, by late summer of 2016, both Crunchyroll and Funimation were now competing with each other at a Super Saiyan level. But in September that year, they would shock the world and go further beyond and announce a partnership between the two companies, which included them to open up their anime catalogs with each other. Crunchyroll would get help with their home releases and also would get help for English dubs thanks to Funimation's dubbing team. In exchange, Funimation got Crunchyroll to assist them with their subtitles for their shows and gave Funimation more work in their dubbing department. To sum it up, Crunchyroll became the ideal place for Japanese audio with English subtitles, and if you were into English dubs, Funimation Now was the perfect place for you. But what if you're a fan of both subs and dubs? Well, that's where VRV comes in. Instead of having a plan for Crunchyroll and Funimation Now, you would just buy a single subscription for VRV and get access to both libraries, plus access to content from Rooster Teeth, College Humor, and The Nerdist. And remember, VRV is part of Otter Media, owner of Crunchyroll, so this new partnership was very beneficial for Crunchyroll. This new agreement between these two anime titans seemed to go fairly well, without incident. That is until a year later, when it was reported that Sony Pictures Television would buy a 95% stake into Funimation, though they would leave Gen Fukunaga in charge of the company and run operations as usual. Some people, including myself, wondered if Funimation would continue their partnership with Crunchyroll with this new change. However, things did not change for subscribers at that time. In January 2018, Otter Media would take full control of Crunchyroll by buying out its remaining stockholders. And 5 months later, AT&T announced they would buy out the Sherman Group's half of Otter Media, making AT&T the sole owner of Crunchyroll and VRV. So now, the battle for anime supremacy in the States was between AT&T and Sony, and it would seem Sony wasn't a big fan of this partnership. Why, you might ask? Well, I have one idea why Sony might not trust AT&T from a previous deal.
And we'll be partnering with AT&T as the exclusive carrier for PlayStation Vita in the United States.
Whatever the reason might be, last month Funimation announced that they would terminate its agreement with Crunchyroll on behalf of Sony's request. That would mean all of Funimation's titles would no longer be available on Crunchyroll or VRV, and Crunchyroll would have to find new means for their dubs and home releases, though Funimation did agree to complete previously announced home releases for Crunchyroll titles. And that's basically how we got here. Now with the past covered, let's talk about the present, and what changes us fans and subscribers can expect. We know shows like Cowboy Bebop, Steins Gate, and Psycho Pass will only be available on Funimation Now starting today. Fans of Funimation dubs such as 91 Days, Bungo Stray Dogs, and Mob Psycho 100 will only be available on Crunchyroll. Now big shows like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan will still be on both services, though I believe the English dub for both of those shows will only be on Funimation Now. The list of what shows are coming and going is still being finalized as we speak, so keep an eye out for that so you know exactly what you're getting with your subscription. VRV subscribers will also lose access to Funimation's library. However, VRV did make an agreement with HIDIVE to replace Funimation's spot in their lineup of services. HIDIVE is a new, smaller anime streaming service that has exclusive tie-ins with Sentai Filmworks, another big anime licensor here in America. Their library consists of both subs and dubs, and have anime series such as Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Negima, and Beyond the Boundary. And that about sums up the information we have today regarding the ending of this beautiful relationship. But what about the future? Well, anything is possible, though here's my personal opinion on the matter. I personally thought this partnership heavily favored Crunchyroll, since it got a lot of Funimation's bigger titles on its streaming service, and took low risks by having Funimation provide their dubs as well as their DVD and Blu-ray releases. I think Sony saw it this way too, and decided to pull the plug because of it. Plus, I doubt they wanted to help a bigger competitor like AT&T out. I think things are basically going back to where they were in 2016. Us American viewers will choose between which companies to sign up with based on the shows they carry. It will no longer be a question between sub or dub. Funimation stated they are bringing back subtitles to Funimation Now, so you can pick the audio track of your choice, not just dubs. I honestly don't see Funimation changing their strategy at this point. They've been in this game a very long time, and I doubt they're about to fix something that isn't broken. To my knowledge, Crunchyroll hasn't stated if they plan to continue making dubs for their shows or if they plan to pursue home releases for their titles. I would personally suggest them to keep pushing for home releases, since I'm one of those dying breeds that still collect physical media. However, I don't think I would recommend them to pursue English dubs. I feel like a lot of US anime consumers prefer Crunchyroll because of their subs, so it doesn't make much sense for them to spend a lot of money on dubs if only a few subscribers watch them. I personally would love it if they continued with their English dubs, but I just don't see it in the cards right now. What we do know for sure about Crunchyroll's future is that they're going to start to follow Netflix and create their own original content for their platform. I wish them success in this endeavor, although early fan reaction did not go over well. Only time will tell if this strategy will pay off for them. As for the future of VRV, I'm not so sure, since I've never signed up with them, despite I had and still have a Crunchyroll and Funimation Now account. I didn't want to go through the hassle of creating yet another account, and I'm not really interested in the other channels VRV has to offer. I'll admit that I was surprised how quick they were able to snatch up HIDIVE to help justify their extra monthly costs over Crunchyroll and Funimation Now by themselves. I imagine AT&T might add more content for VRV, though if they do, I fear that they might increase their monthly fee. And to me, $10 or less each month is the perfect sweet spot in my mind. There you have it, people. That's my history lesson for the day. Hopefully I answered some of your concerning questions surrounding the breakup between Crunchyroll and Funimation. Personally, I plan to keep both services. But what about you guys? Did this messy divorce make you pick a side, or do you plan on going to 2 Thanksgivings this year? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my ugly mug, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a beat. Thank you so much for watching. Later!